Hey guys, welcome to the Starting Million Show. I'm your host, Ashral. Welcome. So today I'm very, again, as usual, I'm always very excited because I'm always very happy to have a guest that's joining me today. And today is very interesting because for the first time ever, I have a professional pole dancer who is coming onto the show. Who I got to know her when I was doing my overseas business, and from there we managed to stay in touch, we stay connected, and she's a very inspiring individual to me. So for my guest, we're talking to Ming, better known as Singapore's Suzie Wong. Without further ado, I'd like to invite to the stage Suzie.
Woohoo!
Woo!
Hello!
Hey.
Hi,
Wow, so Jimmy
Asha.
says you're a legend. Wow, we're already big fans already.
He's always so kind. Oh,
Ah,
yay!
and
And
big.
Ace, you too.
Yeah, so let's get started. I think, okay, Susie, one of the very coolest things, I think, maybe we just get people to know a little bit about you, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very curious. Like you talked a little bit about how you got started in the very beginning. You were first as a corporate banker, then you came to do singer entertainment after you eventually became a pole dancer. But
Mm-hmm.
what got you started doing pole dancing professionally? I'm very curious about this.
Wow, so after a few years in
Hey
corporate job,
Yongin, sorry just to cut you. They just want to say
oh
hello to
yeah, that's
Yongin over
okay. So
there.
yes, hello. Yeah, those people who come in, please, say hello. It will give us a lot of boost and motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot more fun that way. So anyway, yeah, back to my question. So when I was working in a corporate job, I did well, for 4 years in the bank, I was promoted actually 3 times, but something in me just didn't feel quite right. So I explored some stuff which is singing, some entertainment, and well, since your question is how I get into pole dancing, so as an entertainer, I always try to just incorporate new things into my performances. So I started as a singer. So after many years later, um, wasn't quite satisfied with what I was doing. So I wanted to incorporate something new. So I tried a few things, okay, before pole dancing. And finally, when I landed in pole dancing, actually more like an exercise. I was like, hey, this thing I
Mhm.
can incorporate into my shows. And then I trained a little bit more. And within half a year of practicing and really struggling with inverts, I made my own. I mean, not like I make, like, I mean, I get carpenters to make my first pole, portable pole, before
Mm.
anyone else kind of have a portable pole. I fabricated one that can go into events. It was way heavy. It required 4 burly men to lift it onto a stage, set up and lift it off. But we did it anyway, okay? And people kind of loved it. But Singaporeans being Singaporeans, you have to pretend that they don't like it. So it's hard to actually market. But yet there were people who were spreading the word. So from there we get more and more shows, and then my prop was getting lighter and lighter, like more and more efficient to set up, until what we have right now, the commercial ones, which in Singapore I think I have the most as well. So I'm really really die hard lah, really die hard pole dancer.
Mm.
So everything about pole up till now, that has been 16 years. My studio is 13 years. I'm still very passionate about this whole thing. So yeah, that probably will give you an idea how we actually got into National Day. But before that, the history is that, yeah, I'm actually literally the first one in Singapore that so passionate about bringing it this point. That back then I was working in an events company. I shared with my boss. I said, hey, I want to do this, and he's like, no lah, I'm not going to support you. And I paid for my own prop just to prove a point. And now
Wow.
the 16 years later, I'm still performing, except for that pandemic kind of stop it. Just before pandemic lockdown, the last show that we were performing was a pole dance show. Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, I only started the studio in 2008. And in 2009, we were very fortunate that the person who actually designed, because every year they have like a main person to take care of all the performance item, who designed that year's National Day, is somebody who's very trendy. Okay, if I may mention, he's actually Ivan Heng, and he's the wild rice guy. So he's a little bit more
Mm.
on the edgy and very adventurous, which I have a lot of gratitude towards. So he kind of, someone pitched it to him. I think one of his like person who was in theatre, who actually was learning from me. So pitched it to him, and he liked the idea. So he got us in, but we actually faced with a lot of challenges. Thankfully, we have his support, and also the second man in the entire National Day. His name was Desmond, some major or
Mhm.
whatever, that was very supportive, but everyone else was so against the idea. So the first man, which I probably, if I'm not allowed, I will not give the name. Okay, he's right now one of the MP. Okay.
Okay.
He was so against it after a lot of parents wrote in and say that why do we have pole dancers in National Day? That got the whole thing just so messy, and so many times we were threatened to be removed from National Day, which is super unfair because there were 10 of us. Actually, the pole dancers was 8, but I put in 2 reserves. We had multiple rehearsals. We have multiple uh what do you call that? There's like a collective one where the rehearsals were as good as live show. That means the students were actually coming, taking turn to kind of watch, right? And so we already have done multiple, spending endless nights and days training, and then every time we were faced with, I think we should cancel this item. Every time we faced with a parental objection, these parents don't even watch it. It's the kids who go and say, "Hey, got pole dancer." Very frustrating, but thankfully we pulled through. We managed. We keep changing our routine to a point we look literally like just Power Rangers. We're not even sexy or anything. Our moves were like boom, boom, boom. So mechanical and so robotic already. Like nothing can go wrong. The girls who were dancing next to us were wearing less than us. Hello, like come on. But it was all in all, we really enjoyed the whole experience of it. It was very, very fun. But just that we were so jaded with the whole, we should remove this item. No. Then someone allowed us to change the moves and put us back. So ding dong, ding dong. Finally, on the day when we performed, we realized that we went on, but they were only given 3 seconds of airtime on TV. All our parents and family were so excited. They all glued themselves on the TV waiting for us. And then we got text like, you only appeared 3 seconds. Why? Because some top guy up there was damn scared lah. You know, like you say, balls drop lah. I think that happened to him also lah. So, okay, all in, we were all very broken-hearted. We were disappointed, but we still, I gotta say, this thing sort of bonded my performers together. We had a good time. We can actually vouch for the fact that we were like the first people who performed for a national event. Now there's no longer shame already. I mean, it has appeared in many more national events. But I must say again, just like how I brought pole dancing into corporate event, I'm also the first one to have paved the way for pole dancing to be in national events. So I hope all the pole dancers out there, please have gratitude. Don't go behind me and stab me and say that I'm, this and that. There are a lot of bitching around in this industry, sad to say. But yeah, you only have me to thank, and I'm not shameful about it right now. Okay, thank you.
Awesome, Suzie.